The following program is rated PG and may contain mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
The Super Channel Heart and Home After Show with special guests Loretta Walsh, Pascal Hutton, Kevin McGarry, and now the host of the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show, Elliott Wallach.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show. You've just watched the 4th episode of Calls the Heart, and we're going to explore some of the behind the scenes of making that 4th episode. Our own Tiffany Wallach is right there to get some interviews. But first, there was some trouble at the Mercantile. Florence and Ned, they're going to take care of business. Let's take a look.
All right. I apologize. I'm sorry I stole stuff from your store.
Yes, well, it may just be a couple of cans of lard to you, but it adds up.
I'm sorry, sir.
Well, Constable Grant says your family is going through some hard times. Well, if you pay for what you've taken, we'll let it go.
Wow, I would like to, but we don't have any money.
Which is why Mrs. Yost and I have decided that you can work in the store until you've reimbursed us.
We believe in second chances around here.
Thanks, Mr. Yost, Mrs. Yost.
But don't push your luck.
No, sir. I swear. Never again.
Yes. You have to pretend to be very firm. And so much of that is the genius of Peter DeLuise, who directed the episode. You know, he has such a way of being able to find so many little comedic beats, you know, and really make such great offers, you know, to us to go, oh, that's great. Yeah, all right, what if we do it like this? He's a wonderful collaborator. So it's also the joy of just being on a show for such a long time and feeling like, okay, we can play. You know, it's really joyful.
And how is it working with Rothgar?
Oh my God, he's hilarious. I have so much respect for Rothgar. I think he's such a wonderful actor. And he and I like to work in the same way.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, what it means, I guess, is we like to improvise a lot, like sort of before the scene. And sort of because sometimes you go, oh, okay, we have this scene, so there must have been events that led up to this scene. So what happened? How do we know this? Is this something that we talked about privately? And so sometimes we'll improvise. I know in the past, people have seen us doing this, and Pascal is like, you guys have a whole other show going on. We're like, oh yeah, we're ready for our spin-off anytime.
Does any of the improv ever make it into the show?
Sometimes.
Where you actually do it while you're doing the scene?
Sometimes. It just depends.
Okay.
You know, it depends. Sometimes we'll make an offer. You know, Neil Fernley, who's directing right now, is very open, you know, to some improv, you know. But he'll always say, oh my gosh, I only have a certain amount of time in my episode. Right. I want to include all of your improv, but I'm going to go over time. Yeah.
It seems like an obvious connection, the two of them being together, but it did take a while for that to happen.
It did.
What was who originated that idea of the two of them coming together?
Oh, well, it kind of came from me.
Okay.
I suggested it because our showrunner at the time, was looking for ideas. And I said, you know, I just think it would be so fun to have like a really uptight, kind of very rule-bound, strict, controlling kind of character be out of control and to fall in love, right? And so I think at that time, Fiona lost her job with the phone company. And so Florence was in the Mercantile all the time with Ned. Yeah. And they got to spend all this time together. And so it was kind of a natural, like, we're spending a lot of time together and like developing a new appreciation for each other because we'd always known each other in the town. We'd both lost our spouses. And I think we just, found a second chance, at love. And I like to think that, as much as those two are very proper and all about etiquette and decorum and, they really sort of uphold, the decency and the dignity of Hope Valley, right? And sometimes have judgments about that. But I like to think personally that they make each other laugh.
Yeah.
And I think Rothgar and I look for those moments, when we can, of like, when there's a personal, moment of like letting them not be so formal.
Well, there's definitely some funny scenes in this episode, and I'm going to show you one right now, and we can talk about it after.
Oh, good.
Oh my.
Oh, my what?
Oh dear.
Oh, dear?
Oh.
What, is this it?
I don't know. I'm quite certain.
Okay.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes? Oh, okay. Well,
Where is Faith?
I don't know.
Get Faith!
Okay. Faith! Florence, the baby is coming. Get Faith.
The baby's coming?
Yes.
Oh, I'll get her. Faith!
Okay, sweetheart, that's it. You're doing great. You're doing it.
She's at the jail. I'll get her. Lucas can drive. I'll find him. I get Lucas. I'll get Faith.
Yes, get Faith.
Where is Faith?
I don't know, sweetheart. She's coming. Don't worry.
Molly, is it?
It is. Faith.
Breathe. All right, Faith. Ned. Yes. I don't know.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. It's all coming back to me. Shooting that scene was really one of the highlights of the season because it was the whole ensemble getting together, so funny, so many like comedic little moments. Pascal is so funny, Rothgar hilarious. I mean, I got to do my Tom Cruise run.
I was going to comment on that.
But the next day I was feeling a little sore.
Were you?
I really went for it. But it was really, really fun and such a collaboration.
Yeah. And there was like a comedic moment for everyone.
That's right.
All right, Faith. Ned. Yes. I don't know.
Where's she? Oh. Okay. Rosemary, look at me. Look at me. Breathe, just like I showed you. Breathe. Oh, Lucas is on his way. Let's get her to the car. Right. Gently.
Nice and
Gently.
There you go, sweetheart. Good. There we go. Nice and slow. You okay? Bad question. I know. I'm sorry. Stupid question. Here we go. Careful. Okay. Good. No. Silly question. I'm sorry. Let's go. Yeah, you're doing so good.
I got it.
Good job, sweetheart.
Excuse me.
Let's clear a path, people.
Okay, let's go.
This is really happening. Congratulations, Dad.
Hold on, sweetheart. You're doing great.
Oh, I really love that scene. It's very funny. Ned is very funny in it.
Can you tell me a little bit about the choreography of that scene? Because it's a pretty big scene and very dramatic.
Very dramatic, lots of choreography. There's obviously like lots of moving parts to the scene. Peter DeLuise was our director for this episode. And it is one of his strengths is choreographing really complicated scenes with lots of people coming and going. He has a very clear picture of what it looks like. What was so cool about it is he came that day, and obviously there were lots of cast members involved. He came with so many ideas that weren't even on the page. So it was kind of a surprise to us. On the page, Rothgar, or Ned Yost, he was there, but he didn't really have anything to do. And Peter was like, we really need to include you. So he came up with this whole thing, and we kind of ran with it of, why is Ned trying to help me? I'm pregnant. I don't want you. And so there's all these funny moments. And it was a day, at the end of it, I just looked around, and we all, like the cast and Peter, we were all looking at each other and saying, that was so much fun, because everybody just really brought their A game and kind of rolled with the scene. And obviously it was scripted, but there were lots of kind of just improvisational moments, and people just fed off each other and rolled with it. There's a moment where kind of almost the whole town is breathing with Rosemary, and that was all improvised, and everybody kind of just started doing it. It was so much fun. It's one of my favorite moments of the whole season was filming that scene.
How long did it take you to shoot that? Was that all day?
No. It was remarkably fast because it was a complicated scene. I think we all thought that we were going to be in it for all day. Yeah. I can't remember how long it was. I just remember thinking, wow, we really filmed that very efficiently. And that is Peter's strength. He goes very fast. And sometimes if you hadn't worked with him many times, you might think, did we cover that scene properly? Like, do we have all the shots? But he always has all the shots. He's already got it edited in his head. So he knows exactly what he needs. And he just like picks it off in pieces, and then it cuts together beautifully, and it tells the whole story and is funny on top of it.
The comedy of it.
Yeah.
I mean, and everybody got a little piece of the comedy.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Rosemary.
Yes. That's what was so beautiful, is that I felt like it really was more of a collective moment.
Yeah. Did it grow? So did you start out with that performance of the dropping to the knees and the full-on wailing, or did you do some variations?
It seemed very clear to me that was what was required. And that's what you needed, kind of a big moment like that. And Rosemary needed kind of a big dramatic moment that was going to be the catalyst to throw everything else into action. And so reading the script, it seemed very obvious to me that that's what that moment needed to be. Sometimes you get, when you read a scene, you get a very, very clear idea of how that scene needs to be played and what each moment is. And that was one of them for me, for sure.
And then we get the flip side. We have the comedy, but then we get the flip side of the actual delivery, which is not going so well.
Yes.
For Rosemary. Why do you think she was having such a difficult time?
I think it's a difficult experience.
Yeah.
I think it's the hardest thing most women will ever face in terms of their mental strength and physical fortitude. I just don't know that there's much else on this planet that puts you in that circumstance. And so I think that there's a feeling of being out of control that's quite scary for a lot of women. I think especially if you're not having any sort of pain management going on, which obviously back then there wasn't. And I just think that you're really on the edge, like you're on the edge of where you feel like, I'm not to be dramatic, but it almost feels like, am I going to live or am I going to die? I don't know. Like it's very scary. And especially back then, but I think at any time it really feels like you're pushed up against that kind of precipice and going, there's something amazing there. I remember for myself, in my first delivery, I did feel very strongly that I didn't want to have any assistance in terms of pain management. I wanted to just experience it. But I remember reaching a point where, and I remember saying this to my husband, I said, I just feel like I'm stuck. I can't go forward, but I know I can't go back anymore. And you just feel like completely out of control. It's a situation, you kind of have to surrender to it. And I think Rosemary wasn't really able to surrender to that until she had her person. She had Lee there with her, holding her hand and looking at her and believing in her and saying, you can do this. Like, I'm right here. Yeah. And that gave her the strength to kind of cross over and have the baby.
They seem like the perfect couple. And, it wasn't customary for the men to be in the room when women.
Yes, exactly. Right? And that's why I think, I think it's Faith is unsure of that at the beginning, where she's like, oh, I don't know if we should have Lee come in. That might make her more upset. And I think it's because it was so kind of foreign at that time. But I think nowadays we generally believe that having your number one person beside you is a positive
and the
thing.
Camera person and
yeah, exactly.
Pretty soon it's a party in there.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, that was a really sweet moment. And then of course when the baby actually arrives, how was it with that little tiny baby?
Well, that baby was really tiny.
Yes.
That was sometimes shows fake it.
Yeah.
And you get kind of a 2-month-old. I can't totally remember, but I believe that baby was 10 days old, like really, really newborn. And oh my goodness, that is magical. You forget how magical a baby is when they're just days old. Like
how they smell.
Oh, exactly. Still the new
Their
baby
little
smell
fingers
and
and the
little
little toes.
sounds and the coos and
Yeah.
all of it. It was, and they're kind of just, when the baby came on set, just kind of a hush fell over the room, or the crew and the cast and all of us. Just this hush fell, and it was just this magical little thing in your arms. It was amazing.
How do you feel about the decision to make the baby a girl?
Oh, that felt like a no-brainer. I just thought with Lee and Rosemary, a little Rosemary, you just need it. You just need it.
Can you imagine? I didn't even think about that in the future.
Yes. And so that seemed very obvious. I don't even think there was a discussion about boy or girl. I think it was very clear, Lindsay and me and Kevin, and that definitely it was going to be a baby girl.
Yeah. Well, she is so cute and so sweet. And then after the baby's born, you get to share a special moment with Elizabeth. Let's take a look at how that scene played out.
What's her name?
Well, we haven't actually decided on a first name yet, but the middle name was easy.
Elizabeth. Do you want to hold her? Yes, please. We waited so long for this moment. We'd almost given up hope.
Yeah.
Oh, sweetie, with the eyes
She's
open.
our little miracle.
Why does the world look so different all of a sudden?
Because it is.
Because she's in it.
This got me when I watched it. Yeah. Are you tearing up a little bit?
A little bit. I haven't seen it. This is the first I'm seeing the scene. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful moment. And it is they say, Rosemary says, we waited so long, but it's true. It's been such a journey to get to this moment. And I mean, the birth of a child, it is a miracle. It's always a miracle.
Why did they choose Elizabeth, do you think?
Oh, well, I think that, again, was a no-brainer. Elizabeth is Rosemary's closest, dearest friend. Like, they just are going through life together. I don't know if you have a person like that that's not your partner, but a friend that's truly, you look at them and you're like, we are doing life together. We're all our ups and all our downs. We're side by side, and that's what that is.
How would you describe their journey through the rest of the season?
I think they're a real partnership in it. I don't think you see, which I think is a beautiful modern example that we're seeing transposed to this time period, which was maybe less common, but a real partnership where there's not a clear division of labor of you're doing this and I'm doing this, or this is my domain and this is your domain. They're both working, they're both passionate about their work, but they're both so passionate about this baby that they've waited for. Neither of them want to miss any moments with this baby. And so you see them both really trying to do it all and support each other in trying to do it all, which is wonderful. Certainly is my own experience in life.
And will there be some comedy?
Yes, of course. Of course. I don't know if you could throw these two into this kind of circumstance and not have it be funny. Yeah. Of course, there's going to be funny moments of them trying to juggle it all and deal with the baby and also be dealing with life. I mean, that's just comedic in and of itself for anyone, but especially these two.
Yeah. Well, we've made it through 4 episodes. It's a fantastic season so far. Really excited to see the rest of the season. And I hope you will join me for some more breakdowns of some other episodes later.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
There's something about the way that Pascal laughs that just cracks me up. There's something about the way Kevin McGarry does pretty much anything that just cracks me up. And Tiffany's not immune to it either. Tiffany's on the set with him right now to talk about episode 4.
Kevin, thanks for joining me again.
I got a car running, so
let's make it snappy.
Let's get this thing done.
That's right. So we're going to talk about episode 4. Okay. This is a big episode.
Big episode.
Big episode. Rosemary gives birth.
Yeah.
But before we're gonna talk about something else first. We're gonna talk about your storyline, and we're gonna talk about that darn dog.
That darn dog. That's a good spin-off for Nathan and the dog. That
There you
darn
go.
dog.
So maybe not so inept after all, that dog.
Yeah, I guess he's all right. And I think we're starting to see that Nathan has a bit of a soft spot for him.
Let's take a look at a clip where we see the dog in action a little bit.
Let's do
Okay.
that. Yeah.
He stole this from the mercantile.
Lard.
Lard.
Is this true?
Just call me
Yes,
a lard.
He's just a kid, Nathan.
Hold this.
I just gave him the lard.
Look familiar?
You.
Wow.
So do you think his opinion of Scout is changing?
No.
I mean, he did
Scout
bark.
saw what he did not see.
Yeah. We get to learn a little bit more about the other character too, the bandit. Nathan's a little bit resistant to him at first.
Well, I think at the beginning, I mean, Nathan, he said in past episodes that, he's forced to see things in black and white because he's a cop and he's the law and it's right and wrong, right, for justice.
Yeah.
But as that story goes on, he starts realizing why Harry was stealing and what was going on. And you kind of get the perspective of the thief, which is really nice, that leads to something bigger that I can't talk about because it's not in episode 4. So yes, I mean, Nathan originally is like, this guy I found the thief that endangered Faith's life and is stealing from the mercantile. So I'm going to put him away. But then, he gets a chance to talk to him and sees that maybe the kid's not so bad and maybe there's a bigger issue going on. Dun, dun, dun. And we got a clip. No, we don't have a clip?
I could.
I thought we had a clip.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'll put one in just for you.
Yeah, throw a clip
I'll
in
throw a clip
after
in.
I say that.
So what does your family do in Eagle Creek? It's a farming country, isn't it?
It was. Bad crop yield did us in.
Bad year?
Like once in a century bad. Came out of nowhere. Just our valley.
You know what? Why don't I see if I can get you another plate?
Thank you.
And we're coming back from the clip. Great. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about.
I love that scene in the jail when he starts to have a little compassion for him.
Oh, yeah. To Harry?
Yeah.
Yeah,
when you start to soften up a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, well, Nathan is, he's got a good heart, but he has to. He's a police officer, and he just found out that this is the guy he essentially had Faith at gunpoint, even though he didn't have a gun. I mean, it was in his pocket. But so, that's Nathan's first instinct is to put him in prison or, try him. But
I think
there's bigger fish to be fried.
And I think you gave a little bit of a spoiler because in this episode, we don't actually know his name yet. But I think that. No, but I think it'll be okay.
He looked like a Harry.
Right?
I don't know. Harry. Yeah.
I don't think that gives anything away.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
Could.
If I come back for episode 5, maybe we'll find out. But I don't know. Maybe you're not going to call me. I wasn't here for episode 3.
That's true. I put you on probation.
Yeah. Look at that. My car is ready to get me.
So there's, in this episode, there's some interaction with you and Elizabeth. Elizabeth and Nathan have a very nice moment that they share together.
Yeah, on her porch as Rosemary's in labor, I think, for the umpteenth hour.
Let's take a look at it.
Oh, you have that clip?
I do.
Okay.
When did Allie start having questions about her mother?
Pretty much right out of the gate. Allie was 4 when Colleen passed, so.
Right.
Why? Is little Jack starting to ask? That's a tough one.
Shouldn't be. Obviously, I want him to know all about Jack. But how much do I tell him and when?
Well, from where I sit, in my opinion, they'll let you know what they're ready for.
I hope so.
I know so.
Thank you.
Aw, it's the piano music that comes in. It swells.
Does it change it for you? Because when you shoot that scene and then you watch it later,
I
obviously
black out. I black out. Nathan arrives and says what he's supposed to, and then I come back as Kevin. And I say, I ordered a protein shake. Is it here yet? That's my process.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
You should
I know.
record that.
They can't teach that in school.
No, you can't.
You're just born with it. So, what was the question?
I don't know. But I do have a question.
Yeah.
So do you think that being single parents is something that connects the two of them?
Yes. Oh, of course. I think that's their main connection. That's one thing that they have together that they're able to kind of, have just the two of them, and they're able to lean on each other when they need advice. And usually it's Elizabeth giving it to Nathan. So it's kind of nice that Nathan had something worthy to say to Elizabeth.
Another big moment, sort of the biggest moment, I think, of the season that everybody's been waiting for is the birth of the baby, which
The birth of the
we've
baby.
been waiting. So I don't know, you weren't necessarily in those scenes, but what's your take?
In spirit. I remember being there there wasn't there a big comical scene of when she's actually like going into labor and the whole town freaks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. It was fun to shoot. I remember Peter DeLuise, who directed that episode, was just like playing everybody's part. He's like, and then you run down over here, and then Molly, you're gonna come out, you're gonna run over here, and you're gonna say this, you're gonna hold her, and we were just like running back and forth through the town. So in this scene that we just watched, I mean, she's been in labor for quite a while now, and everybody's kind of worried and checking up on her. And Elizabeth, her best friend, is right beside her, and I guess we've seen it, so we all know that everybody comes together with the candlelight vigil. Candlelight vigil, that would be.
I think.
Yeah, and
I'll accept it.
You'll accept it?
Yeah.
I don't really know how to use that phrase, but they're all come together, and the baby is born, and got another resident in Hope Valley. So the population is now at 47, I think. This baby's not 47.
Booming.
It's booming. We're almost at Hamlet. What's before Hamlet? Hamlet is under a town, right?
I don't know.
I just always liked that something was called a Hamlet.
I didn't even know what you meant. I thought
Hamlet.
Well, sure, I get it now, but I thought you were talking Shakespeare.
Maybe Village.
And I thought,
where's
where's he going with this?
Yeah, no.
Okay, I get
Village
it.
Hamlet. We're at a Hamlet, and I'm hoping by the end of, if we get it, season 11, we'll be at a town.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll make it to city.
Eventually.
Eventually. But I don't know. 47 right now. Population 47 and counting.
Well, maybe even in this season. We still have a few more episodes to go.
You think there'll be another baby born?
No, more people. All the tourists are coming.
That's right. There are more people.
Maybe someone will actually stay.
Okay. If we hit 50, it's a Hamlet.
Okay.
And you're going to count them? We're at episode 4 right now.
Let's go count.
Let's count. If we get 3 more people, we get to celebrate as a Hamlet. All right.
I like it.
This was a good episode.
It's a goal.
It was a good recap.
It's a goal.
Okay.
All right. Well, hopefully you're good for at least one more. We'll see you
coming
again.
back to see you guys? I don't know. I guess another show asked me to come and do a recap with them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll see.
I guess we'll see. That'll
You
be
have my number.
that'll
You
be
have
the,
my
that'll be
number.
the suspense of it.
That'll be the suspense. Will
All
I come
right.
back or not? Okay. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Okay.
Goodbye.
And that completes our program. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thanks to all the people that help us just explore some of the behind the scenes to the 4th episode of When Calls the Heart. And we're going to see you next time for episode 5 of the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show.